every night he rides! Right! 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 And night after night after night after night, the horseman rides the hollow. That's not supposed to be true! It's not supposed to be true!
Greetings and welcome, students and parents. My name is Kennedy Haynes, and I am one of the directors of our play, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. First, I'd like to ask you to please turn off your cell phones and no recordings or photos at all during the performance. I'd also like to thank our principal, Dr. Scher, as well as our set designer, Mr. Rydell. I'd also like to thank our cast and crew for their dedication and hard work. Last of all, I'd like to thank our parents for all the love and support. There will be a 10-minute intermission between Acts 1 and 2, and there will be refreshments sold in the back.
Hello everybody, I'm Ishan Singh, the other director. Our theater program has been a very successful program for many years. We are the only middle school in all of Fresno that offers an all-day forensics and theater program. Now, there are two stages to our theater program. In the first stage, students will learn how to become successful actors by learning many theatrical techniques and elements such as pacing, storytelling, and projection. In the second stage, students will learn how to become successful directors. They will learn how to become leaders in the drama program and will learn many production skills. We also offer a forensics and stagecraft class. If possible, please feel free to buy a $10 sponsorship to support our forensics and stagecraft class. It means a lot. Now, if you have any questions about our programs, please feel free to ask us or Mrs. Hibble at the end of the show. Now, before we begin, I'd like to point out that everything you will see and hear is all student-built. Our students have worked extremely hard to make this the best show we've ever had and have dedicated themselves to the show. So thank you for coming, and please enjoy the show.
When the driver pulled up to her house, he went to the front door only to be told she had died 10 years ago that very night.
Have you ever heard of the CompuTech theater ghost who haunts the second row? If anyone sits in her seat, she pinches and pokes and whispers in their ear until they have to move.
Have you ever heard of the Headless Horseman?
No.
No?
No, I've never heard of him. You've never heard of the Headless Horseman?
Of his demon horse?
Of his midnight ride through Sleepy Hollow?
No. You've never heard of Ichabod Crane?
And how he went missing one night?
And was never seen again?
No. Oh. Well, aren't you going to tell me? The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Beware, beware the Headless Horseman.
Ichabod Crane, never seen
again. Ichabod Crane! Ichabod Crane! Ichabod Crane! There's no reason. No way to explain.
One night the Headless Horseman came.
Never seen again.
Was Ichabod Crane!
Very well, Mrs. Clausen. Very well indeed.
Do you think you'll enjoy teaching our children, Mr. Crane?
Oh, of course. Wherever I go, I'm extremely fulfilled with my teaching endeavors, and the students will always be beholden in their gratitude for what they glean through my inspiration.
I see.
School teacher?
He's rather funny looking.
I think he looks just fine.
I hear he's very strict.
I hope he's not too strict. He dances funny. He looks like a scarecrow.
Better than the country bumpkins we have around here. He's a gentleman.
I hear he's very well read. He's read several books, all the way through. He's even read Cotton Mather's History of New England Witchcraft.
I didn't know that.
You see, he'll play quite well around here.
You dance very well, Mr. Crane.
Thank you, Mrs. Clausen. I believe as a schoolmaster, I should be fluent in as many community pastimes as possible. I'll be taking up choir straight away.
Will you?
Oh, of course. Of course. But do not think I'm a soft touch, Mrs. Clausen.
No.
Yes, a splendid dancer I may be, and light on my feet, certainly. But I'm a firm believer in the old saying, spare the rod, a child. Now, everybody, we not want our children spoiled, now do we?
Look, I told you, no one does it till Brom Bones crosses the threshold.
Everyone else for you to arrive wrong. There are police standing like statues. Polly and I have been moving. Polly and I have been breathing.
Idiot! Come on, you two rat bags.
Rob is so handsome. He's got the manners of a wounded bear.
He's been courting Katrina Van Tassel since the summer.
She hasn't been seen with anybody else?
No, I heard Brom scared off every boy in the valley.
I heard he said he'd pummel anybody else who courted her.
I wonder what would happen if someone asked her to dance tonight. Maybe the school teacher will. Maybe the school teacher wants Marette to dance. Hush.
The school, no. The school teacher wouldn't stand a chance.
How do you know?
Maybe there'll be a fight tonight.
Let's get a good seat.
So, how are you enjoying our part of the world, Mr. Crane?
Very well, Mr. Van Tassel. Very well indeed. And I'm quite taken care of by all the families in the area. I stay with the Clausens this coming week. And then on to the Van Hootens.
Mr. Clausen told me just yesterday.
Ah, yes. Anything I can do to be of assistance. One must be grateful to one's lodgers. And I must thank you for including me this evening. Your home is so, spacious. You're situated. It's such a meadow. Whoever wins over the heart of your daughter, Mr. Van Tassel, will be very lucky indeed, for Katrina is such a sweet girl. May I have the pleasure of this dance?
I would be most honored, sir.
Look, she is dancing with the school teacher.
Maybe she's just being polite.
Look at Brom's face.
Hey, Brom! Who's that dancing with Katrina?
What? Who? Who is that pipsqueak?
It's the school teacher, Brom.
What's she doing dancing with him? Oh, pummel.
You can't beat up the school teacher.
Why not?
You just can't.
All right then. What's his name?
Ichabod Crane.
He's awful smart, Brom. The only one smarter in all Sleepy Hollow is the parson.
Ichabod Crane. We'll see about that, Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod Crane, looks to hold Van Tassel reigns, forever remove the schoolhouse chains. Ichabod Crane.
Who is that young man in the corner, Miss Van Tassel? Sorry. He's staring at us with such a glowering eye.
Oh, that's just Brom Van Run. He doesn't think anyone should talk to me. He beats up any boy who tries.
Oh, well, I shouldn't want to get in his way then.
Ichabod Crane, well aware of what he can gain. Katrina's hand he could obtain. Ichabod Crane.
He's very good-humored, though, and he's very skilled with horses. Brom is well known for having the fastest horse in all the county.
The fastest horse, you say? What a shame.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's only something I heard, Miss Van Tassel. I shouldn't trouble you with it.
Please, call me Katrina.
Only if you call me Ichabod.
What did you hear about Brom, Ichabod?
Only that he beats his horse.
No!
That's how he gets to go so fast.
That's terrible. I never heard that.
It's such an awful thing to do. And he smells very strongly of a stable. A young lady like you should never be exposed to such boorish odors.
The two of them make quite a sight as they talk of the dance at night. Brom Bones is ready to pick a fight. The whole back takes all his might.
Are you sure I can't beat up the school teacher?
Afraid not.
There has to be something I can do. He stands at their...
Carrying
Yes, carry the 9. He's danced there 4 times this evening.
But you don't like to dance. You say it all the time. You say rather how hot focus jams into the soles of your feet than to dance.
Idiot! I'm putting a stop to this.
Ichabod Crane, Ichabod Crane. Beware of Rombo's trade. Be careful who you treat with disdain. Ichabod Crane.
Good evening, Miss Katrina.
Good evening, Brom.
May I have the pleasure of escorting you home to the dance?
Actually, I will have the arm of Katrina tonight.
Well, how about a horse ride then, tomorrow afternoon?
Katrina, I was going to ask you, you're in the choir, are you not?
Yes, of course.
Let me offer you private singing lessons. I can tell just by looking at you that you will have the most healthy singing voice. Tomorrow afternoon, you have nothing else planned.
I would be delighted.
Shall we go?
I'll get that little pipsqueak! It's the last thing I'll do! I'll get him!
Ichabod Crane, Ichabod Crane. Rombo's his actor straight. His face scrunched up in a mask of pain. Hatred going for Ichabod Crane.
Have you heard? Have you heard?
What?
Katrina Van Tassel's being escorted by the school teacher tonight.
Again?
Look, this will be their 3rd dance this fall.
I hear that he's been spending a lot of time out at the Van Tassel farm.
He's giving Katrina singing lessons. That's all.
I don't know.
I hear Brom Bones' horse is never seen at her fence anymore.
I'd much rather be courted by Brom Bones.
There's Brom now.
5 minutes. 5 minutes alone is all I need with him to settle this life thing.
We're doing pretty good, though. We've stopped up the chimney at the schoolhouse.
And turn the room topsy-turvy in the middle of the night.
5 minutes is all I need with him to fold him into and stick him in a shelf. Look at him.
Look at him.
He looks so smug.
He doesn't look very happy.
Serves him right. Act like an animal. You don't get the girl. So there. He's so smart.
I wonder what he thinks about.
Only smart things, I'm sure.
Land, land, land. Land, land! Oh, the day gets close when all this land will be mine. And certainly there's a firm possibility that one day I could be lord of all this. This scene of unimaginable luxury and splendor. Look at that table. Now that is a feast for a king. And someday I could be that king. This is the 3rd dance I've been to with Katrina this fall, and I'm with her every second day with lessons. Surely now, Brom Bones is nothing but a smudge on the landscape. The landscape that will soon be mine. Katrina? Ah, Katrina, my dear, shall we dance again?
Perhaps later on.
Well, I will wait here, ever so patiently.
Now, before we partake in another dance, shall we share a tale or two? A ghost tale or two? And, of course, our resident history of New England witchcraft expert shall sit in the chair of honor, right by the fire.
Oh, too kind. Minnie Van Tassel, I am so honored, so terribly honored.
Do you know any ghost stories, Mr. Crane?
Indeed I do. I have many a tale up my sleeve. I am also well aware that this area is a veritable bonanza of anecdotes, allegories, and accounts of a spectral nature.
But don't you ever get frightened? Telling stories by the fire is one thing when everyone's around. But when I'm alone, a tree branch swaying in the wind makes me think that there are ghosts and goblins around every every turn.
It sends shivers down my spine.
Do ghost stories scare you, Mr. Crane?
Hi.
Ichabod Crane, Ichabod Crane, the horse racing round his brain. Does he admit fear the ghostly plane? Do you, Ichabod Crane?
Well, you see,
The moon moon late at night, every shadow brings a fright, every shape of phantom sight. He closes up his eyes so tight.
the truth of it all is
The howling wind, the rising dread, all confidence has swiftly fled. His stomach sore, his heart is lead. Who's that standing up ahead?
Why, no, my dear. And why should they? They are just stories, after all. Isn't that right? Just stories. No tale is too gross or too monstrous for my appetite. They are nothing, nothing to be afraid of. Nothing at all. Oh, yeah.
What? What?
Oh,
What?
What are you for?
idiot! Didn't you hear what the school teacher just said?
He said he's not afraid of ghost stories.
Those may have been the words he said. Ha, but
But isn't that what you just asked us? Don't hit me, I'll do it. Ow!
those may have been the words he said. Ha! That's not what he meant. I think he's afraid of ghost stories. When all the village lights are out and he's walking through the dense thicket home, he's really scared.
So what are you going to do?
Come on, let's talk.
Stories tell of haunted books, haunted bridges, haunted houses, haunted fields, haunted streams.
How about haunted trees? Major Andre's tree.
Poor Major Andre.
Poor? He was in cahoots with Benedict Arnold.
Creak, creak, rope on wood. Right there is where Major Andre stood. Creak, creak, rope on bark. Not be able to escape the dark. Creak, creak, rope on skin. Major Andre's gone a-hanging. Major Andre's swinging from the tree. Get too close and you might see. In 1780, to hide from his foes, he dressed in an American soldier's clothes. Back to the British side he crept, but a trio militia did intercept. Major Andre swinging from the tree. Get too close and you might see. They searched his boots, rucksack and coat, and found letters Benedict Arnold wrote. Andre was tried and determined to spy. His punishment meant he had to die. Major Andre swinging from the tree. Get too close and you might see. If you go by and the stars are bright, the air is crisp and the moon is right. A swinging shadow darkens the ground. And listen for the creaking sound. Major Andre swinging from the tree. Get too close and you might see.
Have you ever seen a shadow?
No, have you?
I'll never go by that tree alone.
Who will be next? Who has a story to tell of funeral trains, of mourning sighs and wailing cries?
What of the women in white?
Now there's someone who's a poor dear.
On a frosty winter night, you can hear the woman in white. She howls through the hollow. The trees shiver in her sorrow. A young woman out alone, caught so very far from home. From the storm she could not hide. There was no shelter, so she died. Her life could not be saved. The winter snow, her frozen grave, and when found, the girl so lost was covered, head to toe in frost. If you're looking for a chill down the hollow behind the hill, if you listen, the wind's so weak, you will
the most famous of them all.
The Headless Horseman.
In the hollow by the oak trees and the grapevines,
Never stop at midnight.
Never.
and if you find yourself there when the clock strikes 12,
Never look behind you.
Never. Never look behind you if you hear the horse's hoof
Or feel hot breath on your neck.
or the snort of the goblin steed.
This is the ride of the Headless Horseman.
He lost his head to a cannonball and they buried the body without it.
headless.
And night after night after night, the Headless Horseman rides the hollow. Night after night after night.
He searches the battleground for his lost head.
Night after night after night.
Every night he rides
Ride!
Rise!
Rise!
from the graveyard to the battle and back again.
Fast and furious on his demon steed!
Before he must return to the churchyard.
To sing through the ground at the break of dawn. He's 7 foot high with a flaming black cape.
With a demon's laugh.
With dead demon eyes.
The horseman doesn't stir but gathers in the blue, like some gigantic monster ready to spring on its prey.
Beware, beware the headless horseman.
I have a story to tell. I have tangled with the Headless Horseman recently. Shall I tell of my adventure? I have tangled with the Headless Horseman, saw him on a clear, black night. I say he's no fierce rider, and his horse, he's rather light. But I believe in the Headless Horseman. The things they say are true. If you hear his ghoulish laughter, it will be the end of you. Old Brower did not believe in ghosts and scoffed at spectral power. Old Brower went riding through the dell. It was the midnight hour. And through the hollow, he looked around, but he heard the ghoulish laughter, and no one was to be found. But I believe in the Headless Horseman. The things they say are true. If you hear his ghoulish laughter, it will be the end of you. And I believe in the Headless Horseman. The things they say are true. If you feel his ghoulish grip, it will be the end of you. One dark night I did ride from the village going home. It was the midnight hour. Through the hollow I did roam. And up upon my left-hand side, the horseman overtook. I offered a race to the demon shade, first one to reach the brook. I sped off on my trusty side, far from the devil's hold. To the hollow we thundered on, to the night air cold. And I believe in the Headless Horseman. The things they say are true. If you lose a race with him, it will be the end of you. And there, ahead, I see the bridge. That means the end is near. If I make up before the horseman, he must concede and disappear. I make it first. I turn to see a wall of fire so high. A flash of thunder, a shriek, ow! The horseman vanishes to the sky. So do not scoff at the horseman's tales, especially when outdoors, because it won't be a laughing matter if the next head he wears is yours. And I believe in the Headless Horseman. The things they say are true. If you can't stay out of his way, it will be the end of you.
My friends, the hour grows late. It is time for us to disperse.
Oh. Did that scare you, Mr. Crane?
No,
It's scaring me.
Well, they were all wonderful stories. Next time, I will have a few hair-raising tales of my hometown in Connecticut. Have you ever heard of the ghost who leaves wet handprints on the rocks for sailors?
No.
Next time, ghost. Next time. Ah, Katrina. Running away so soon.
I live here.
Yes, surely you're not running away. It's just that the house is so expensive. There are so many places to go, and a lot of places to hide if you wanted to.
I suppose. Good night, Mr. Crane.
Shall I see you tomorrow when I've seen this? I can come here to the farm. No trouble at all. I enjoy it here ever so much.
Oh, I don't think so.
What?
I don't think I'm interested in singing anymore. Thank you anyway.
What?
You've been most nice. I've had so many enjoyable lessons with you. But I'm going to take up quilting.
What?
I'm sure I'll see you at the next dance, Mr. Crane. Farewell.
What? What about her dying? What about the land? Just like that she...
Something the matter, Mr. Crane?
No comment. Everything is just...
Farewell, school teacher. Have a nice walk home.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Ichabod Crane does too.
In the black, dark night, where every bump, every critch, scritch, and every thump could be nothing but a trick of the mind.
Or it could be something.
Something not so trying.
Away from the light, Ichabod strides. Away from the dance with his wounded pride.
Alone on the path, a man filled with remorse. Alone on the path, he should change his course.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone out there? Rubbish. I traveled through here all the time. There's nothing out of the ordinary out there.
By a fire, there's nothing to fear.
But there's little warmth out here.
Hold tight to your reins.
Oh, there's Major Andre's tree. It looks much different at midnight. No, it's the same as it is at high noon. I always think as I pass by. Sweet is the budding spring of love. Next blooming hope soft is me. And when disaster beauty's charm, pushing life to sorrow. Is that a ghost in that tree? No. It's just a place of the fog that blows. Silly Ichabod. When possessed of beauty's charm, pushing life to sorrow. What pleasure sorrow, repeated joy, and in autumn waves, repeating joy. Ah, is that the specter's groan? nothing. There are no ghosts, no goblins, and especially no havoc. That's odd. It's gone quiet.
And I believe in the Headless Horseman.
The things they say are true.
If you hear foolish laughter, it will be the end of you.
Is anyone there?
For I believe in the Headless Horseman.
The things they say are true.
If you feel a foolish grip, it will be the end of you.
I'm going to turn around, and nothing will be there. I'm going to turn around, and nothing will be there. I'm going to turn around, and nothing will be there. One, two, three. That's it's not supposed to be true. It's not supposed to be true.
And I believe in the Headless Horseman.
The things they say are true.
If you embrace him, it will be the end of you.
All I have to do is get to the bridge. Just like boats. If I get to the bridge, I'll be safe. You can't get me to the bridge. There, an opening in the trees. And I made it. I'm safe. No. No. No, what are you doing? Ah! Ah!
Believe in the Headless Horseman. The things they say are true. If you can't stay out of his way, it will be the end of you.
So what happened? What happened to Ichabod? No one knows.
Breakfast came, no Ichabod. Lunch came, no Ichabod. School came, and there was no Ichabod.
Ichabod's hat was found by the brook, and beneath his hat, a shattered pumpkin.
But of Ichabod, there was no sign, and there never was. He just disappeared. People don't just disappear. Did Brom Bones have something to do with it? I'll bet he did.
No one knows. We'll never know.
Ichabod Crane became another ghost story told by the fire.
And they say if you're ever in Sleepy Hollow,
And you wander by the place where the schoolhouse stood. You can hear him singing oh so faintly.